Welcome back to the Giant Center. Again, I'm Tim Rice along with Brock Height, and man, Alana White from Cumberland Valley. She is a girl wrestler in the finals tonight. She just knocked it out of the park with that national anthem, and we are ready to go. We've got 3 different key matchups we are looking forward tonight to, but we're going to start with 107 pounds where we're getting these wrestlers set to go. Let's look ahead. 145 pounds, Luke Simcox taking on Pearson Vanville.
Yeah, Simcox, number 3 in the country, Pearson Vanville, number 1, but it was Simcox taking the regional final. Those guys both have state championships on the resume.
And the very next matchup at the weight above at 152 pounds, Colin Rath, Colin Guy, this is their 4th meeting.
Yeah, number 3 versus number 5. It's been all Rath so far, but Guy, again, returning state champion. He's going to be up for the task.
Yeah, those 2 premier bouts in the center of our card will cap things off with Sean Kinney looking for his 4th medal at heavyweight. But let's look at our wrestlers here at 107 pounds. We have Aiden Herndon from Cedar Cliff. He's a freshman, 40-5 on the year, taking on fellow freshman Dominic Morrison from Hatboro Horsham, 46-2 on the season.
Herndon en route to this championship final. Big decision, 1-0 over Alexander Diaz in the championship round of 16. 9-2 quarterfinal win over Nolan Rice of Connellsville before pinning Max Tansini in the tiebreaker period. 7 minutes, 40 seconds to get to this championship final for Herndon.
So he got locked up in the middle with a stalemate. Not a lot of action here in the first 50 seconds of the first period. Morrison takes a little bit of a shot. Herndon caught underneath, but controlling the elbow well. Morrison has a good grip on the wrist. Probably end up, well, as I say, a stalemate coming. It looks like try to wrestle through it. Tries the throw by. Herndon ready for it though, and kind of sets up his head inside single. We'll see if he can finish here. Things are going to get tight if he keeps going around. And now Morrison able to grab the foot, tries the pass. Able to pass through, and this looks like a stalemate coming.
And here, Morrison needs to keep that left ankle, left foot of Herndon's off the mat. The stalemate is drawn. Morrison en route to this championship final. A lot of people looked at him as the consensus favorite. 7-1 over Nico Capusta in the championship round of 16. 2-0 over Wilmont Kai of Whitehall in the quarters. And a 4-1 decision over fellow freshman Amelia Albanese of Emmaus in the semifinals.
So we wrap up the first period. Herndon was able to get a lock on the leg, but never really coming close to actually getting that takedown on Morrison as they were passing legs. Got all wound up. So you got to think a clean finish is what both of these guys are looking for here in the second period if they get back up to their feet. But we'll see what happens as Herndon, the freshman, gets set underneath Morrison. As we talk about 2 freshmen, I mean, that's always factors in a little bit with their first experience here at the Giant Center in a state finals.
There have been 53 PIAA freshman champions. Joey Bachman in control of the AA final down on mat 1. And we're going to either have Morrison or Herndon take home the title here. Morrison wrestling out of Hatboro Horsham. Only 1 champion all time for Hatboro Horsham. That was Dennis Merriam back in 1975. He finished runner-up in 76. Cedar Cliff a little more.
They got some medal winners from there, huh?
They've had a longer tradition. You know, they've taken home 6 titles from 5 different champions. Their last one was Jared Royer back in 2004, so it's been a little bit of a drought for the Colts.
Morrison able to stay in control on top, has a leg. Now he's grabbing an ankle, so we're halfway through the second period. And this is that position, if you're a college wrestling fan, you'll see a count here. And the reason why, it's really hard to get out from bottom when a guy's got a leg and he's lifting your ankle off the mat. And now Morrison looks like he's going to try to slip into a bar. Can't take that arm forward. The referee's going to stop it, or not, I guess. So takes him over. He's got to watch that shoulder as it's coming forward. He's going to stop it for potentially dangerous with 39 seconds to go in the period. So trying to take that arm and put it behind your head as a wrestler. You're just really trying to make sure that arm is not going forward. Shoulders don't go that way.
And and really in today's day and age of wrestling and how potentially dangerous is called, it's almost a technique of yesteryear that you, against a guy who's really tough, it's hard to not put the arm in a dangerous position in order to pick up the near fall points out of that.
Yeah, and usually what you see, I mean, at the highest levels, guys are too tough to go over with that. So really you're just hanging onto the shoulder and not a lot of wrestling going on from there. But we've got 25 seconds to go. Herndon having a real hard time coming up, and we have our first girls state champion over there on mat 2 in the center mat on the giant center mat. First state champion from Cannon McMillan.
Valsolario taking home the title for the Big Macs.
At 100 pounds, so she starts things off, and again, that's the first of quite a few here this evening of the first girls state champion. You can see her sharing a special moment with her coaches on the side, but we've got a state title to decide here at AAA, 107 pounds, no score on the board, but Morrison is going to take his turn underneath as Herndon gets set on top. And Morrison right away creates a roll. He's in a good position right now to get the reversal. So Herndon's still on top. When are they going to call this a Peterson? I don't know. I'm glad I'm not that official right now. It's a weird position to be in. I would not call a reversal, but
and it's almost a crucifix for Herndon.
Yeah.
If you MMA people out there.
But if Herndon can maybe roll through, he can mousetrap kind of situation. He's got a figure 4 on the arm, and this is one of those who's got who situations. Again, I am not jealous of this official right now, as Herndon's still technically in control. I think at some point you might have to call a reversal here. Now we've got a locked hands. I was not looking for that. I did not see how that could have happened around the body. I would have to see a replay. I was just excited about that tricky position. I don't know how he could have locked hands there, but it could happen.
I don't possibly see how it could have been.
We're going to actually, why don't you sneak and try to get a listen to that conversation, because I'm interested on that one. So typically in some of those scramble situations, top man can kind of forget he's on top, and you'll wrap around the body, but typically you'll see that out front. So again, I totally missed that in the situation, so we didn't see what was going on, but he must have been locked around the body. Brock, any insight from that lip reading tonight?
Head official Rocky Miller, I didn't see it. It was his call as the secondary official.
So after this match, you'll have to check that out on Flow Arena. Again, all the matches are archived. Good time to bring that up, because I'd like to see that situation again. I would have liked to see how that situation played out. And no one was happier about that call than the lead official, saying thank you.
I am usually right on top of looking for locked hands. A lot of times the guy's coming off the top. If the bottom guy is attacking the legs, you see a lot of weird positions. I don't know how he got around the body there. I think he was through the crotch or over the arm.
Right.
I'm willing to say that I could be wrong, because I wasn't particularly looking for locked hands because of the situation they were in.
But either way, so that kind of forces the hand of Herndon as he gives the escape. So Morrison up 2-0, no stall calls, 39 seconds to go. And we go out of bounds. And the coaches from Cedar Cliff are already working that official. They know if they want stall, well, they're not going to get hit 3 times probably in 37 seconds, but they want those calls. Morrison fires off a shot, kind of exposes himself a little bit, and Herndon trying to take advantage, almost able to come behind, but unable to get behind and under that arm. Morrison stays square. We've got 23 seconds to go. Morrison with his shoe untied. This could get interesting.
Stall warning.
That's
1 point yet. So the laces, the first stall call backing up. The second stall call because he has to adjust his laces. 17 seconds. Yeah. Another path to victory has opened up for Herndon, or at least sending it to sudden victory.
Absolutely. You know what? If I'm Morrison, I'm taking my time here. And if I'm his coaches, I'm telling him, take your time. Take a break. Collect yourself. You got 17 seconds. You can't stall, or else we're going to overtime.
And it's...
So I must have jinxed him. I said no stalls, and that's a smart move by Morrison. Firing a shot off right off the whistle, getting to the legs. See if he can stay locked. He doesn't have to finish. He just can't get scored on. And I think he's going to be able to hang on. And he does it. So Dominic Morrison, really that locked hands call was crucial totally changes his strategy, and it's Dominic Morrison taking advantage of the situation, and he's your freshman state champion from Hatboro Horsham.
Second titleist ever for Hatboro Horsham. It's been since 1975.
So we are going to have some long breaks with these finals, but we do not have one right now. You do not want to go anywhere. We're going to roll right into our 114 pounds, but do expect some breaks at home. Plenty of time to go get some snacks, something out of the fridge, take bathroom breaks, because we'll finish this round, and then we're going to throw it to the medal stand where we'll have medalists from AA, the girls, and then AAA. Actually, I'm not sure the order, but you'll see all three of those medalists. So we're looking at a substantial break in between the matches. I don't want to guess on time frame and throw you off. But let's look here at 114 pounds. Landon Sidden, and we got some action right away with Landon Sidden and Curtis Nelson. And it's Nelson that comes around for the takedown. Curtis Nelson from Ridley, the junior, 41-2 on the year. Landon Sidden from Norwin, a freshman, 41-2, and a big-time freshman, known across the country, but he finds himself trailing 2-1 to Nelson.
Nelson is Ridley's first PIAA finalist, making the most of it. He was a 8th place finisher a year ago, knocked off Caden Williams en route to this championship final. Williams, the PIAA champion as a freshman, going out as a senior. He finished 3rd in the bracket. That was in the championship round of 16, a fall in 316. It was a defensive fall, but Nelson had been working almost the entire period there with Williams hanging with a crab ride in half, put it in danger. Incredibly exciting semifinal over Santino Sloboda. Reversal and 3 near fall at the buzzer to win 6-4 for Nelson.
Mentioned the freshman at 107, but he was a very impressive freshman in Sidden. I got to see him live for the first time this year at the PIAA tournament, where he took home the championship and just racked up some impressive wins. And there's Sidden, able to get the takedown and puts himself back on top 3-2 with 33 seconds to go in the period.
Sidden coming into the weekend ranked number 1 in the country, but he lost in the Southwest Regional Final. Rankings were updated just before that tournament, as most of your other state tournaments around the country had taken place just before that. But where do you move, Sidden? He owns a win over number 2 in the country, Aiden Smith, who's competing down in the AA final at 114 pounds.
And we just saw locked hands in the last match that really decided it. And in this match, Ridley hit a nice switch. And if it wasn't a locked hands, it was definitely a close one on Sidden as he tries to hang on and work up the leg. And Nelson did a good job of just trying to keep moving, but Sidden able to gather him back under control. And as you mentioned, Nelson is dangerous from underneath, so Sidden can't relax on top, and I'm sure he's been watching plenty of video today, and he's prepared for this wrestler, but it's one of those situations where I'm sure you don't know what you're in for until you've felt it yourself.
Sidden en route to this championship final, a 12-6 decision over Travis Clausen of Penn Manor, fall in 5:48 over Colby Martinelli of Penn Ridge, and then an exciting 9-8 victory over fellow freshman Gabe Ballard of Northampton. Ballard ended up finishing 4th. Caden Williams was 3rd.
We'll be able to get off this freshman talk soon enough, because this is actually our last freshman. Just looking ahead at the bouts in AAA, we don't have another freshman the rest of the way through. So experienced wrestlers in the Giant Center here the rest of the way through. Typically, I feel like that's a real odd year, as typically there is usually a freshman up in the upper weight somewhere that's able to poke through, but Sidden, good motion from underneath. Nelson's got a side headlock, and he was close to getting a swipe or two. Coaches in the corner always feel like they have a better view, but that Ridley coaching staff is not real happy about the no swipes in that situation. Just a reminder, you do have to break 45 degrees. You guys that struggled in geometry, that's half of 90.
When you're talking about freshmen, never more prepared than ever are these guys coming into the high school level. Sidden, a Fargo champion, has wrestled on the biggest stages in the country. He's not going to be faced coming out here in front of the Giant Center.
Yeah, I wasn't sure what to expect when we watched him at the PIAA tournament, but yeah, you could tell up against those nationally ranked guys, he did not care. Wrestles hard, looks for those takedowns. That's a good job by the official. He was on the head still, looking for that near side cradle, never got control. Nelson, closed whizzer, doing a nice job fighting it off. Let's see if he can keep that arm of Sidden. He's got to try to keep that hand off of his leg. He's doing a good job of it right now.
Another position really hard to finish in this day and age. That you've got to take the ankle to the far hip to take away the pressure from the closed whizzer, and most of the time it's going to get blown dead by high school officials.
And honestly, I feel like that's where a lot of these guys make the next jump at the college level, where some guys figure out how to finish in that position clean and some guys don't. And those are the guys that can obviously move up those national rankings at the college level. But that's a position you need to learn how to finish. And as Brock mentioned, it's one of those things where it's just a technique of not trying to just continually spin around behind the guy. That closed whizzer just keeps getting tighter when you try to come around behind. So we'll end the second period. Sidden up 4-2. Again, Nelson with that opening takedown really looked like he was going to make things very interesting, but Sidden able to settle things down with a takedown of his own. He's kind of settled into the match. Seems like he's in more control, but just a 4-2 lead with Nelson underneath. So still obviously a very tight match. There's no back points for Nelson. Were big and obviously disappointing for that coaching staff. Nelson, an 8th place finisher a year ago. Just a qualifier as a freshman, so 2-time medalist.
On his head, let's go.
Looking to become a state champ for Ridley as a junior. Nelson, career record of 109-14. Trying to get some of that motion going. Hit a fireman's, looked a little closer probably to the fans in the stands as Sidden was under both arms, so able to wrestle through that position. Not really in too much danger. But he cannot start shutting it down right now. He's got 1:17 left to wrestle, and Nelson looks like he's not going to let the foot off the gas pedal. So Nelson trying to work from space. Going head tap and trying to look for a drag off of that.
And if you're Sidden, good match tactics. Whenever Nelson starts to get motion, that's where he's found his opportunities by dropping the knee. Probably don't like it. I don't like that you're allowed to do it, but work within the rules. Give it a good low stance and wait for him to come to you, and don't let that motion happen.
And that's a college level takedown by Sid. Nice job by him being able to score and just caps it off. It looks like 6-3. We'll see if we can ride him out here. Again, we mentioned Nelson can't be dangerous from bottom, but he's going to need a reversal and back points to get anything going. He's got 15 seconds to do it. Sid just digging those toes into the mat. Not giving Nelson a chance. And there Nelson trying to force that position. Sidden ready, gives him space. And we have another freshman state champ at 114 pounds. Landon Sidden takes care of business, comes back from a disappointing loss a week ago to win it all in the state finals. Your state champion from Norwin.
56th freshman of all time, as Bachman won in AA at 107. We had Morrison here on the AAA side. They were 54 and 55. Landon Sidden, your 56th freshman to win a PIAA championship.
So just looking ahead, we mentioned those two bouts at 145 pounds and 152. We've got another good one at 285 where we have Sean Kinney from Nazareth. He's a senior and he's looking for his, well, he has his 4th medal already at being a finalist, but he'll have his 4th medal at 285 pounds. But we'll talk about that when we come back. We're going to throw it over to the in-house microphone as he is going to give you the place winners for the 3 different divisions. Again, it'll be girls, AA, AAA, and then we will be back with 121 pounds. Tyler Kapusta from Franklin Regional, Keanu Dillard from Bethlehem Catholic. They're going to fight for that state title at 121 pounds.
Let's meet our place winners at 107 pounds in AA. In 8th place, from Tussey Mountain, Dakota Santa Maria. In 7th place, from Trinity, Jordan Magnette. In 6th place, from Burrell, Cam Baker. In 5th place, from Baltimore area, Tanner Gano. In 4th place, from Northern Lebanon, Sam Wolford. Placing 3rd, from Cornwall Egan, Thomas Boyce. Your runner-up from Chestnut Ridge is Dominic Deputy. And your 2024 107-pound AA champion, Joey Bachman from Faith Christian Academy, a 6-1 winner today. Congratulations, Joey Bachman, and all of your 107-pound AA place winners.
Now let's meet our girls 100-pound place winners. Finishing in 8th place from Hempfield, Hattie Mack. Finishing in 7th place from Bellwood Antis, Julia Cuevas. Finishing in 6th place from Montour, Kristen Walzer. Our 5th place finisher from Bensalem, Peyton Hinkle. Finishing in 4th place from Parkland, Ella Hessner. Our 3rd place finisher from Knock, Miranda Lejeve. Our runner-up for 2024 from the Chamonix, Grace Nesbitt. And please put your hands together for our very first ever girls state champion, winner by fall at a time of 3 minutes, 14 seconds, from Cannon McMillan, Valerie Solorio.
And now we direct your attention once again to the podium for the AAA medal winners at 107 pounds. Finishing 8th from Easton, Nicholas Salamone. Finishing 7th from Whitehall, Willamont Kai. Finishing 6th from Peters Township, Nicholas McGarity. Finishing 5th from Perkiomen Valley, Max Cassini. Finishing 4th from Emmaus, Emilio Albanese. Finishing 3rd from Council Rock North, Alexander Diaz. Your runner-up at 107 pounds from Cedar Cliff, Aiden Herndon. And your 2024 PIAA state champion at 107 pounds with a 2-1 decision victory from Hatboro Horsham, Dominic Morrison.
Now wrestling on mat 2, 112 pounds. Girls Championship bout. Sees a junior from District 3's J.P. McCaskey, her head coach Kevin Franklin. Season record of 30-1, career record of 55-3. Please welcome Journey Rodriguez. Her opponent is a sophomore from District 6, Bishop.
Dillard, a sophomore, comes in with a record of 40-5 on the season, 64-5 career record. Kapusta, 45-6, 120-32 for his career.
Referee for tonight's 112-pound championship from District 9.
Kapusta not a stranger to the state tournament, 3-time state medalist, never in the finals, trying to come away with a title in his first trip, capping off his high school career.
He is a junior from District 3.
Kapusta starting out down on the mat on a knee. Dillard doesn't really want to match him on the knee, but does want to match his level.
En route to this championship final, Kapusta, 9-0 major decision over Blake Durgam of Parkland. Big one in the championship quarterfinals, 3-2 decision over Mason Ziegler, who was a runner-up a year ago for Quakertown, before a 7-2 decision over Tyson Cook of West Scranton in the semifinals.
Again, Kapusta forcing the action low. It's a fake shot from about 3 feet away and then drop down to his knees. And when that opponent goes down low, it really does force your hand. There's not much you can do other than match his level, or he's going to be fired in from space at your ankles. And we've got 24 seconds left to go of a stalemate match in the center of the mat.
Dillard en route to this championship final, 11-1 major decision over Connor Smith of Seneca Valley, 7-0 over Elijah Hewitt of Northeastern, 4-2 Sun victory over Luke Willishow, who is a past state finalist here at the Giant Center. Scoreless to the second.
You don't always expect a lot of points, but you would at least like the wrestlers to make contact with each other as we end the first period. We'll hope for some more action here in the second and maybe some points on the board as Kapusta gets set underneath. Dillard, your returning state champion, freshman year. Lost a really good workout partner, and Nate Desmond made the switch over to prep school, Wyoming Seminary, but that was a 1-2 punch that Bethlehem Catholic definitely enjoyed a year ago. Dillard trying to still get the work done for Bethlehem Catholic. Going to be your AAA team champions again this season. Someone told me that they were moving down to AA next year. Do you know if that's confirmed, or have you heard that too? Somebody's lying to me.
I heard the same person tell you that. I'm not sure. I thought Faith Christian and Bishop McCord, there was some possibility of them electing up to AAA.
Interesting to see what those three teams will end up doing, because obviously that will have a huge impact on the team races, both in dual meet competition and individual. Kapusta able to get the escape and comes up into neutral. And we are back to the same position as we were in the first period.
And Bethlehem Catholic does have the team title locked up on the AAA side. 87.5 points. Nazareth in second with 69. State College 67.5. Quakertown 67. Those are your teams fighting for the trophy. Actually, Owen J. Roberts still in with 2 finalists at 60.5.
Yeah, the top 6 teams, 5 of them have 2 finalists. Another interesting situation. I mean, I'd have to go back. Well, you'll have to go back and look at this later. But I feel like oftentimes there's 1 or 2 schools that have a couple more. It's interesting to see how many schools have those 2 finalists this year. We go out of bounds. 29 seconds to go, and that was the closest thing to an offensive attack we've had. See if we can get some more action going here with 29 seconds to go in the second period.
From a historical perspective, Bethlehem Catholic, they've had 34 titles won by 26 different wrestlers. Dillard, Desmond, and Rath were their last state champions last year in 2023. Franklin Regional, they have 13 titles from 8 wrestlers, but Nico Megaludis was their first champion, Finn Solomon their last back in 2022.
And this is an interesting strategy from Kapusta. I mean, I see every time he comes up off his knees, his coaches are telling him down, down. So they definitely want him down low, wrestling from his knees. Well, maybe not his knees specifically, but at least down real low. Thought I saw some blood on Kapusta, bridge of his nose.
And then I'm going to take this time here, this blood time, get away from this match. We were kind of criticizing the officiating at 107. It was a singlet pull that was called, not a locked hand. So the signal given by the official was incorrect, but they called the...
It is actually the same signal, which is confusing, but it's the same signal that you give for a locked hands as a singlet grab, which is stupid. Because the referee always has to explain that was actually a singlet grab. Sometimes you'll see an official show locked hands and then make like a pulling motion to explain to everyone, but if you look in the book, it actually is the correct mechanic. It's just probably an outdated mechanic that should be updated. So there's the 1 escape for Dillard. And here we are back in neutral again. Kapusta down on hands and knees. See what happens with Dillard. And you know what? All this work by Kapusta down on his knees, it's going to be worth it if he can just get Dillard to make a mistake, kind of lunge up at him. And I'm sure Kapusta is ready to dive in on the legs. And I mean, honestly, Kapusta is not doing a whole lot, but he is moving forward. So keeping Dillard a little bit off balance.
Pennsylvania, we always talk about families and going down back generations. Ty Kapusta, the son of Jeff Kapusta, 2-time finalist, 1-time champ. His uncle Brian, a 2-time PIAA champion. They both wrestled at Greensburg, Salem.
The crowd in the Giant Center is starting to get restless as I'm hearing some people, probably from random teams, just yelling shoot. So I want to see some action here. 121-pound state final in the AAA division. And Dillard almost had the drag. Had the arm, was reaching for that far hip, but unable to come around as Kapusta was able to stay square. And we are still without a takedown. 25 seconds to go in the third period. As Aaron Seidel from Northern Lebanon, AA state champion once again, takes out Grayson Music, who made a lot of noise here this week at the Giant Center. But Aaron Seidel takes care of business down there, 8-0, and he will be your state champ at 121 pounds, moving up a weight class. So we head to overtime here, AAA 121 pounds. Again, I'm Tim Rice along with Brock Height. It's been a great weekend of wrestling. We had some different schedule this year, had our medal matches already earlier today in all the divisions, girls, AA and AAA. Doing the finals all here together on the Giant Center floor. 3 mats going. Kapusta is up on his feet, and I think if I'm Dillard, I am staying. Well, doesn't do it. I would say you got to keep that underhook because that's the only thing forcing Kapusta up off his knees.
Once again, all medal winners, please make sure you're
Bethlehem Catholic coaches have been awful quiet in the corner. Haven't really seen or heard them give a word to Dillard. As Dillard starting to try to pick up the motion a little bit. Kapusta did have first points scored. Dillard got the 2. That's the match. That was quick coming off, but that was 2 called on the mat. So just a question of whether or not you agree with that reaction time, whether or not you like that takedown. But Keanu Dillard from Bethlehem Catholic gets it done. About 10 seconds of action in that match, but that was enough for Dillard to come away with his second state title for Bethlehem Catholic.
After the awards, we'll be back with 127 pounds Trey Wagner of Northampton taking on Dean Hauser of Daniel Boone.
In 8th place, Carter Beck from Sagertown. In 7th place, from Baltimore area, Caden Judice. In 6th place, Dalton Wenner from Cranberry. In 5th place, from Chartiers Houston, Jordan Williams. In 4th place, from Chestnut Ridge, Easton Mole. In 3rd place, from Lion Mountain, Brock Rothmel. Your runner-up is Will Detter from Trinity. And your 2024 champion, a 2-time champ, Aiden Smith from Notre Dame Green Pond, a 7-4 winner. Congratulations, Aiden Smith, and all of your 114-pound AA 2024 medalists.
Let's meet our medal winners, girls 106 pounds. Finishing in 8th place from Souderton, Emily Saar. Our 7th place finisher from Southwestern, Natalie Handy. Finishing in 6th place from Northern Bedford, Kaylee Ebersole. Our 5th place finisher from Garnet Valley, Reese Dewar. Finishing in 4th place from York Suburban, Alisanya Early. Our 3rd place finisher from Hamburg, Isabel Wilkes. Our runner-up this year is from Greenville, Madeline Ederline. And your 2024 very first time 106-pound champion, winning by decision score of 9-3 from Conwell Egan, Julia Horger. Congratulations to Julia for completing the perfect season, and to all our 106-pound medal winners.
And now, welcome to the podium the medal winners of the AAA at 114 pounds. Finishing 8th from Greater Latrobe is Leo Joseph. Finishing 7th from Penn Manor, Travis Clausen. Finishing 6th from Butler, Santino Sloboda. Your 5th place finisher from Council Rock South, Connor Lenahan. Finishing 4th from Northampton, Gabriel Ballard. Finishing 3rd from Manheim Township, Caden Williams. Your state runner-up at 114 pounds from Ridley, Curtis Nelson. And winning with a 6-3 decision, your 2024 PIAA AAA state champion from Norwin, Landon Sidden.
Now wrestling on mat 2, 118-pound girls championship bout.
127-pound AAA state final. We're looking at Trey Wagner from Northampton. He is a sophomore, record 33-3 on the season, 66-13 career mark. He's in the black and orange of Northampton, tries a quick slide by, throws the leg in. He's got to bring him back down beyond reaction time. Under both arms, hand on the mat. That's 2 points as we go out of bounds with 12 seconds passed in the first period. Wagner with the early 2-0 lead Let's take a look at his opponent, Dean Hauser. He's a senior from Daniel Boone. 47-2 on the year, 139 wins in his career with just 24 losses. Trails 2-0 as he's trying to get some motion going from the bottom. Comes up to his feet. Hauser tries to get away, hits a Granby on the mat return, able to score his point, and it's 2-1 in favor of Wagner.
These guys have met 3 times over the past 2 seasons. Wagner has taken the 2 bouts at Top Hat, 14-1 major decision back in December of 22, and an 8-2 decision in the final this year's Top Hat. That an 8-2 decision for Wagner. Hauser, however, picked up the PIAA championship quarterfinal last year, 4-2.
Hauser, a 2-time state medalist, finishing 5th and 6th.
Senior out of Daniel Boone, 47-2 career record, 139-24. He's coached by Jim Hogan from District 3. Dean Hauser.
So Wagner, very aggressive off the whistle. Things have slowed down a bit. So we're on the back half of the first period. Hauser definitely has a gas tank. He can go a full 6 minutes, and now he's trying to get a little bit more aggressive with that hand fight. Doing a good job of controlling the center. 20 seconds to go in the period. First of 2 finalists from Daniel Boone. Teammate Tucker Hogan. Teammate and fellow senior Tucker Hogan. Be at 189 pounds a little bit later on this evening. Hogan, your 2023 Pennsylvania State Champion.
That title by Hogan, the only one in Daniel Boone's history. John Clemens is the only other finalist back in 1982 for Daniel Boone. A little different tale with Northampton. They've got 24 titles won by 17 wrestlers. Jagger Condomini, their last titleist in 2021. And the signature of this Daniel Boone squad, Tucker Hogan, Dean Hauser, the top work. Tucker Hogan, one of the most proficient turners in the country. And you got to think Dean Hauser wants to work hard to get this breakdown. He's looking cross wrist.
And Hauser needs to be a little bit careful on the edge. Didn't really make an attempt to return. Came up with that single and took him off the mat. So sometimes a referee will let you get away with that one time, but sometimes twice. Hauser gets set on top. Wagner immediately up to his feet, able to get away and get his point. And Hauser pressures in. Wagner, little half attempt at a fireman's carry, gets himself stuck underneath, but clamped down on that elbow. Going to be hard for Hauser to really make space and get out of this position. He's really got to start bouncing that head if he wants to improve. Not enough room near the edge. We go out of bounds right near that Daniel Boone corner. Coached by Jim Hogan.
Bloomsburg University alum.
Representing. Wagner. Not yet. Good hold by the official. Can't tell me he's controlling him, and now he is. That was good timing on that situation. Still kind of a funky spot as Wagner does a good job of getting his hip up right into that figure 4. If you're Wagner, you probably want to try to circle him to stay in bounds, but they're going to go out. So 49 seconds to go. Wagner picks up his second takedown. Able to wrestle through that slight scramble situation. I think Wagner's got some more blood on his forehead. We'll see if the ref sees it. I guess not. So we'll start anyways. 48 seconds to go in the second period. Hauser's been trying to be aggressive on his feet, trying to win that hand fight and win the battle of position, but Wagner has turned that into points for himself. He's going to go power half hard. He's out of position, though. We'll see if Hauser can take advantage. And there he settles back in, throws those double boots in, and now it's Hauser who's in some trouble. And by trouble, I mean shoulder pain more than points. 13 seconds to go. If you're Wagner, you just want to keep making it look good. You don't want to stalemate here with short time. So we'll end the second period in control.
It's going to be Hauser's choice. It's going to be an interesting one. I expect him to go top. Coach Hogan saying neutral.
Wow, Jax Forrest tech fall 15-0 over Chris Vargo from Bentworth. Storms back, gets the job done. So Jax Forrest, your AA state champ at 127 pounds. Impressive tech fall in the state finals. Wagner on the mat return. Hauser tried to Granby, but Wagner ready for it. Stays underneath the arm. Hauser just trying to create some step over situations. Finding himself down by 4. This will be Wagner's first state medal. Qualifier last year as a freshman. Came home empty. So you're coming home with a minimum of a silver medal, but it looks like it's going to be better than that as he controls the match 5-1. Daniel Boone coaching staff looking for a stall on top. And Hauser again reaching up for the head, but with a guy on top that's good with legs and can throw double boots in, usually reaching back for the head isn't going to do a whole lot. Wagner doing a good job of just eating clock up in the top position. Like to see stalemate. First time with double boots, followed by a stall call the next time, because Wagner has no intentions of turning here on top with the double boots.
When you got the elbow above the head, you know, it's.
You think he's going to try to turn him?
I don't. However, you put yourself in position where you've stretched the guy out. You got his with a half Nelson, the elbows up above the head. You're certainly in great position to create a turn.
I agree with you. It's just hard to watch.
And it's everybody in the building knows the intent. However, it's got to represent the action that's actually happening.
There's a quick stall on top. Not releasing. Hauser rolls through, but much too little, much too late. As Trey Wagner, the sophomore from Northampton, he'll add his name to that state champion board at Northampton High School. Your latest state champion, Trey Wagner, 127 pounds. We are going to move on to the award stands, and we'll be back with a 133-pound state finals matchup between Tahir Parkins from Nazareth and Tyler Adams from York Suburban.
We need your third and sixth place finisher in AA, and we need the first and second place winners in AAA to the podium right now at 121 pounds.
Here at my house, we like to focus on the customer.
We strive to give our athletes the best possible uniform using the highest quality stitching and materials.
Our business model basically is really simple. It's treat the customer how we want to be treated ourselves.
We want our wrestlers to feel confident that when they step on the mat, their uniforms will perform as well as they do.
It's making sure the customer gets what they want all the time.
Refuel, recharge, replenish with milk. Brought to you by the Allied Milk Producers.
A lot has changed since 1932.
But one thing that hasn't is Faulkner's commitment to Central PA.
Our organization is built on values like honesty, integrity, and trust.
Our prices are low and transparent.
Our buying experience is fast and easy.
And we're active in the community, supporting our friends and neighbors at charitable events, local games, and fundraisers. We remain committed to you and our community, to be sure.
Joseph Barshnick. In fourth place from Reynolds, Louis Gill. In third place, Lincoln Slednowski from Bishop McCourt. Your runner-up from Bishop McDevitt, Grayson Music. And your state champion from Northern Lebanon, a three-timer, Aaron Seidel, a major decision winner, 8-0. Congratulations, Aaron Seidel, and all of your 121-pound 2024 medalists.
Now let's meet our girls 112-pound medalists for 2024. Finishing in 8th place from Parkland, Sylvan Parham. Finishing in 7th place from Manheim Township, Isabella Vaccio. Finishing in 6th place from Elko, Kylie Trossel. Our 5th place finisher from East Stroudsburg North, Andy Bimbo. Our 4th place finisher from Conneaut, Daley Watson. Finishing in 3rd place from Williamsport, Lillian Rumsey. Our runner-up this year is from Bishop McCourt, Lane Fordyce. And your first ever girls 112-pound state champion, winning by decision score of 7-3 from J.P. McCaskey, Journey Rodriguez. Congratulations to Journey and all our 112-pound medalists.
And now for our AAA winners at 121 pounds. State medalists include finishing 8th from Seneca Valley, Connor Smith. Finishing 7th from Abington Heights, Mason Whitney. Your 6th place finisher from Penridge, Cole Coffin. Finishing 5th from Greater Latrobe, Luke Willochel. Finishing 4th from West Scranton, Tyson Cook. Your 3rd place finisher from Quakertown, Mason Ziegler. Your state runner-up at 121 pounds from Franklin Regional, Tyler Kaputsta. And your state champion from District 11 from Bethlehem Catholic, Keanu Diller.
133-pound state finals in the AAA. We have Tahir Parkins in on the attack right away. Started on one leg, comes over to the other, head inside. He's got the foot jacked up of Tyler Adams from York Suburban. Parkins working hard, coming around, getting the 2-point takedown. Tahir Parkins, the junior from Nazareth, 40-2 on the year, 101-12 for his career. Picked up his 100th win this week at the Giant Center. Tyler Adams, York Suburban, he's a senior, 36-2, 123-16. He'll have his hands full here with the junior from Nazareth, and Tahir Parkins trying to get his first state title.
Parkins dominated the Giant Center this weekend. Championship round of 16, a 17-5 major decision over Case Chop of Butler, 11-4 over Kevin Sheridan of Boyertown. and 11-4 over Mason Kernan of Bethel Park in the semifinals.
49-2. Your officials are Chris Ross.
Tyler Adams en route to this final. 7-2 over Christian Ford of Avon Grove. A fall over Kai Vilma of Connellsville in the quarterfinal in 5:58, and a 9-2 decision over Ramil Islamov
and
of Baldwin.
This is where Parkins can really blow the match open. Just a hammer on top. Been that way since he came up as a freshman. Just a qualifier his freshman year, which I think surprised a lot of people. Had a disappointing state tournament. Was able to come back with a 4th place finish last year, but obviously he wants to be on top of the podium. And right now he has that 2-0 lead, 30 seconds to go in the first period.
Parkins ranked number 14 in the country, committed to Rutgers. Nazareth, 29 titles out of 29 wrestlers. That puts them at number 5 in the PIAA. They're tied with Reynolds. Reynolds, I do not believe, has anybody wrestling for a championship today. And Nazareth with Sean Kinney in the 285-pound final, and Tahir Parkins here at 133.
So it looks like Parkins is going to finish on top. I don't think he'll have time for back points, but he's going to make Adams defend a little bit more from underneath and use up some more energy as we end the first period. Parkins in the driver's seat with a 2-0 lead as we see the flip. Parkins wins the toss, elects to go underneath.
Tyler Adams committed to Navy. He is your first finalist for York Suburban. They had Mark Banks medaled twice at York Suburban before going to York Tech. He picked up a title for York Tech.
So Parkins, really good action from underneath. Almost was able to come around with the reversal, but never could actually get around behind. So earned the 1 point on a loss of control situation, gets the escape. 3-0 on the attack again. Left side high crotch, or that was more of a left side double. Adams trying to crotch lock and maybe slide down to the leg, but Parkins not having it. Able to get the arm free, pick up the 2, and goes up 5-0, 30 seconds into the second period. Parkins, Nazareth, of course, District 11. 5 finalists coming out of District 11 this evening for AAA. I'm sure there's quite a few more down in AA, but AAA, we've got 5 District 11 guys. It's Parkins attacking again. Adams in a similar position as before. Parkins able to pick up the takedown. Adams still stays locked on that leg. At this point, the referee already gave it. You might as well let that go, but the referee says, I'll take care of this. Stalemates it. 35 seconds to go in the second period, and Parkins is looking tough. Mentioned District 11 with 5 finalists. District 7, another well-known popular district, only with 3 finalists this year, surprisingly. I'm sorry, not 3. 5 finalists. So they match District 11, both 5 finalists coming out of those 2 very well-known districts in the state of Pennsylvania. An all District 7 final at 172 pounds with Bodie Morgan and Vaughn Spencer. Coming up a little bit later. Talked about some of those middle matches. We didn't even mention the next one coming up at 139 pounds with Maddox Shaw and Dalton Perry. And we've got some great action ahead as Parkins has 2 minutes left, 7-1 lead. Looks to wrap things up on his first state title before we move on to some big-time nationally ranked matches. We'll have Maddox Shaw taking on Dalton Perry, followed by Luke Simcox, Pearson Manfill, a battle of all District 6 there. Followed at 152 pounds with Colin Rath. Colin Guy, 4th meeting in their careers.
Parkins looking for a takedown to push it in major decision territory. He's up 9-2 with 122 remaining.
As we mentioned previously, Nazareth in 2nd place in the team standings. Bethlehem Catholic has already wrapped it up. But a good finish in the team scores for Parkins. Tries to rip a headlock right near the out of bounds. Nothing doing. 9-2 lead for Parkins. Kind of surprising. I feel like Easton, obviously a little bit of a disappointing weekend. A lot of people looking for them to do a little better here. Nazareth, Easton, obviously they oftentimes go together. Very close to each other geographically. They had some battles this year in dual meets.
Those two teams sit. Easton is tied for 3rd with Bethlehem Catholic, with the title going to Keanu Dillard with 35 state champions. Nazareth has 29 in their history. They're hoping to walk out of here with 31 on that board at the end of the evening.
And that would be with Parkins. And then Kinney at heavyweight. Sean Kinney taking on Dean Bechtold, the sophomore from O&J Roberts, a little bit of a surprise finalist. Kinney will be your favored wrestler to win. But as we know, anything can happen here in the state finals, as we have a state champion, a local one from Cumberland Valley, Eliana White. But it's our state champion down here. She gets a round of applause from the Nazareth faithful, and the Blue Eagle gets the job done. Tahir Parkins, you're 133-pound state champion. Looks like we're heading to sudden victory down on mat 2. Brant Hare from Montgomery and Camden Baum from Bishop McDevitt. It's 1-1 in sudden victory. Might as well go ahead and click over to that mat. We're going to take a break here on our mat. We're going to move on to awards as soon as that sudden victory match finishes. On the far end, we'll go to awards at all 3 weight classes. And then we'll be back. Again, I'm Tim Rice along with Brock Height. Looking forward to come back with a big-time matchup of 139 pounds between Maddox Shaw and Dalton Perry.
Few things in life are more important than showing up. And whether you show up for your family, friends, or teammates, it doesn't hurt to bring a plate of their favorite beef dish. Together, we bring more. Find your next crowd pleaser at beefitswhatsfordinner.com.
crushing it over there on the keyboard. Yeah, I'm doing great over here. You guys are fine with that too.
Let's meet our 127-pound AA medalists. In 8th place from Upper Dauphin, Jonah Peterson. In 7th place from West Perry, Jackson Rush. 6th place, Weston Pizarczyk from Brockway. In 5th place from United, Gideon Rackman. In 4th place from Reynolds, Logan Stewart. In 3rd place from Indiana, Nico Manella. Your runner-up from Bentworth, Chris Vargo. And your state champion at 127 pounds, Jack Forrest from Bishop McCord. Winner by tech ball 15-0, time of the tech ball 4 minutes 32 seconds. Congratulations, Jack Forrest and all of our medalists at 127 in AA.
Let's meet our first ever girls medalist at 118 pounds. Finishing in 8th place from Sagertown, Leah Sample. Our 7th place finisher from Pottstown, Savannah Richards. Finishing in 6th place from Candy McMillan, Yun Ayala. Our 5th place finisher from Connellsville, Trinity Moore. Our 4th place finisher from Northeast Bradford, Anaya Colasar. Finishing in 3rd place from Holmesdale, Sage Alver. Our runner-up this year is from Butler High School, Anna Milovich. And your first ever girls 118-pound champion, winning by decision score of 13-7 from Palisades, Savannah Witt. Congratulations to Savannah and all our 118-pound medalists.
And now let's meet the medal winners at 127 pounds in AAA. Finishing 8th from Hickory, Brady Slicker. Finishing 7th from Lower Dolphin, Cale Rossi. Finishing 6th from Penridge, Quinn McBride. Our 5th place finisher from Wilson, McCaden Spees. Finishing 4th from Cannon McMillan, Andrew Binney. Finishing 3rd from Council Rock North, Aaron Cement. Your stake runner-up at 127 pounds from Daniel Boone, Dean Hauser. And winning by a score of 5-1, your PIAA AAA state champion at 127 pounds from Northampton, Trey Wagner.
139 pounds, Maddox Shaw from Thomas Jefferson. He's in the gold singlet, taking on Dalton Perry from Central Mountain. Shaw 42-3 on the season, career mark of 127-12. Perry, your returning state champion, not returning, former state champion, 34-3 on the season, 119-11 on his career. Looking for a good battle here for the state title at 139 pounds.
Shaw's been second and third, Perry third and first. This was a championship semifinal back in 2022, won 3-1 by Perry en route to his state title.
Yeah, Perry came on the scene with a state title as a freshman. Took a step back last year a little bit with that loss. Finds himself back in the finals. And by finds himself, I mean he put in the work to get here. 139 pounds, a tough weight class in AAA.
Maddox Shaw comes in, number 4 in the country, but that's up at 144. He's kind of split time back and forth. He was down a little earlier in the season, then finally made the descent again for the postseason. Dalton Perry, number 12 in the country at 139. It's a little difficult as the NFHS weights are 138 and 144, where in Pennsylvania we wrestle 139, 145.
Record 42-3, 127-12. He's from Thomas Jefferson. He's a junior from District 7, Maddox Shaw. And his opponent was a third-place finisher.
Two juniors.
In a 2022 PIAA.
Both have been on the national scene since their freshman year, and it's Shaw, head inside attack, 20 seconds on the clock. So he's fighting Perry and also time as he needs to be able to finish. He's got 14 seconds now. This would be huge. Picking up a takedown at the end of the period. Perry fighting hands. I don't think he's going to be able to do it. 3-2, and that's the period. So Dalton Perry dodges a bullet at the end of the first.
Young wrestlers take note. Perry defending there. On the fingers, you go to the wrist, you let the guy work with his hands a little bit. You go to the fingers, you take a lot more away from the wrestler attacking the leg.
I'm a little surprised that Shaw didn't try to push that a little bit more. It seemed like he just wanted to concede that position and move on to the second period. But yeah, it's been interesting to see him make a little bit more of an effort to try to finish. Either way, Shaw goes underneath to start the second period. Be surprised if either wrestler would be able to earn back points in this match, but crazier things have happened. Perry missed some time during the season. Unfortunately, didn't get to see him at the PIAA tournament this year. It's a great high school event put on every year by Cannon McMillan High School. See some top wrestlers, and this year was a great tournament. Shaw came away with the title. Perry on the leg, but started off too close to the out of bounds. And that's where we end up. 30 seconds into the second period.
All night, it's from a historical perspective, it's been a lot of haves versus have-nots, where Central Mountain, they have 8 titles by 5 wrestlers. But if you go back to the history of the schools that merged to create Central Mountain, Lock Haven High School has 20 state champions, Bald Eagle Nittany 14. Then you had Sugar Valley that folded into Bald Eagle Nittany before that with a couple titleists. Thomas Jefferson, just one titleist, Brian Finnerty in 2022.
All 133-pound medal winners to the podium now.
So Perry has shown that he is tough to finish on. And if you've watched Maddox Shaw wrestle before, you know he's tough to finish on. See if one of these guys can get a clean attack. Finish quick. Maddox Shaw had both legs, tried to come up and drive, but Perry able to fight and keep his hips away. Backs up towards the out of bounds, and we go out. Shaw controlled the underhook. Out of bounds with 20 seconds to go in the second period. Shaw with that 1-0 lead. I'm sure Perry will go underneath, try to even things up. And Shaw is dangerous on top, but I don't think that's anything that Perry needs to worry too much about. Just needs to make sure he keeps those elbows in, stays sealed off, and work his way up to his feet to tie this thing up. And here's his choice in the third, gonna go underneath. 2 minutes to decide the state title at 139 pounds.
Shaw, 2 losses here in the Giant Center. They're both the Central Mountain wrestlers. He lost in last year's final to Luke Simcox of Central Mountain 1-0, and the aforementioned 3-1 semifinal loss to Perry. Perry away for his escape to make it 1-1, 145 to go in the bout.
You mentioned Simcox. We'll be seeing him next at 145 pounds, taking on the #1 wrestler in the country, Pearson Manville. Simcox, mentioned, state champion a year ago. Central Mountain, very tough team in the state. Biff Walliser, the coach, picked up the Coach of the Year award for AAA earlier this evening. They also host a nice tournament in December, King of the Mountain, Central Mountain High School. Perry trying to pick up the action a little bit, attempting to score from short offense, but we go out of bounds. 1 minute to go in the period. We are tied at 1. Dalton Perry made an early college decision. I believe he committed his freshman year, if you can do that, to Penn State. Haven't heard anything different, so I would imagine still that is the plan for him. While I am also sure there are plenty of other schools that are still giving his cell phone a text here and there, trying to get him to go to their school. But Dalton Perry, and committed to wrestle for the Penn State Nittany Lions. Mentioned that, unfortunately, this is one of the, Dalton Perry tries a little bit, cement job wouldn't be the right word, but tries to kind of hip over, gets Maddox down a little bit, and looked like he tried to spin behind. So just a little bit with that underhook, create a little bit of motion, but not enough to attempt to come around behind Shaw.
A lot of times you'll see the guy check with that left underhook. Shaw got dumped to his left hip, and then you pull that underhook out, run behind, look for your go behind. Shaw was able to recover without letting go of that elbow.
We are headed to another overtime matchup. I believe this one is the second of the evening, at least here on the AAA end of the arena. Shaw fires a shot right off the whistle. Perry ready. I haven't seen really anything out of either of these, one of these guys to say they're in the advantage position right now.
I believe Maddox Shaw to be in the advantage position because he scored first. Remember, our high school overtime rules: 1-minute sudden victory, 2 30-second tie-breaking periods, and then an ultimate tiebreaker. If it's still tied, it's good. Being consequential.
There it is. It was given. So on the leg, came around the far hip. Perry was on his butt, and that's a takedown for Maddox Shaw in overtime. So our second overtime matchup, second time with a quick takedown to end it. Maddox Shaw from Thomas Jefferson, state runner-up a year ago, finishes off with a state title for the junior. So that'll wrap us up at 139 pounds. We're going to move on to the awards before we come back with number 1 versus number 3 at 145 pounds. Luke Simcox, Pearson Manville. Make sure you stay close. You don't want to miss the start of this one. See you in a few minutes.
Let's meet our 133-pound AA medalist. In 8th place, Grove City's Hudson Orman. In 7th place from Pontiac, Hunter Gold. From Quaker Valley, in 6th place, Jack Cazares. In 5th place from Northeast, Cyrus Hurd. In 4th place, Bishop McCourt's Mason Gibson. In 3rd place, Charlie Robeson from Conrail Egan. Your runner-up from Bishop McDevitt is Camden Baum. And your champion from Montgomery, Brant Hare, a 2-1 tiebreaker 2 winner. Congratulations, Brant, and all of our 2024 medalists in AA. Also, congratulations to Brant Hare on his 100th career win.
Let's meet our girls 124-pound medalists. First ever class at 124, finishing in 8th place from Southwestern, Tatum Duckworth. 7th place finisher from Laurel, Alexis Brua. 6th place from Parkland, Abigail Taylor. Our 5th place finisher from Greenville, Kelly Enterline. Finishing in 4th place from Plum, Sophia Davis. Our 3rd place finisher this year from Phillipsburg, Osceola, Isabella Duvall. Our 2024 runner-up this year from Mariana Brassetti, Julissa Ortiz. And your first ever girls 124-pound state champion from Cumberland Valley High School, Eliana White Vega, winner by decision, score of 10-8. Congratulations to Eliana for her championship and singing the national anthem. And congratulations to all our 124-pound medalists.
The medal winners in AAA at 133 pounds. Finishing 8th from Central Dauphin, C.J. Ferry. Finishing 7th from Wilson, James Garcia. Finishing 6th from CB West, Chris Dennis. Finishing 5th from Boyertown, Gavin Sheridan. Finishing 4th from Baldwin, Ramil Islamov. Finishing 3rd from Bethel Park, Mason Kernan. Your state runner-up at 133 pounds in AAA from York Suburban, Tyler Adams. And your PIAA AAA state champion at 133 pounds with a score of 9-2 from Nazareth, Tahir Harkins.
145-pound AAA state final. We're at the halfway point of our finals matchup, and we have Luke Simcox, ranked number 3 in the country from Central Mountain. He's a senior, 30-3 on the season, 136-18 for his career. And he's in the blue singlet from Central Mountain, taking on Pearson Vanville, a very familiar opponent. Both of these wrestlers coming out of District 6, a fellow senior from State College, 26-1 on the season, 114-10 for a career mark for Pearson Manville.
Simcox and Manville met 3 times. One was an injury default in the District 6 final this year. Simcox working on getting healthy. He then won the Northwest Regional Championship, 3-2 ultimate tiebreaker. Also, you had Manville winning back at Powerade in December of 2022, so a season ago, for 3rd place at that 5-2 decision for Manville.
So again, Manville, a state champion as a sophomore in 2022, runner-up last year, trying to end back on the top of the podium as we have a caution for Simcox. So a battle of state champions, Manville from 22, Simcox just a season ago. So remember, actually, I was in the changing area. I ran into the state college coach, and I was mentioning I was on that call when Pearson Manville basically took the roof off of this place. I believe it was a semifinal matchup. Tyler Kasak, big-time freshman for Penn State currently, but he ended his state tournament or title run with a huge roll through to his back, picking up the fall. State semifinals. Forget sometimes when you call so many matches during these long weekends, but that's one that I will not forget. Incredibly exciting match for him as he went on for his state title.
Coming into the weekend, Luke Simcox ranked number 3, Pearson Manville number 1. Those rankings were done before that Northwest Regional result. Jack Consiglio of Malvern Prep sits in between them. Manville defeated Consiglio this year, so it's almost like a de facto 1-2 matchup here between Simcox and Manville. Simcox wrestled down at 139 at Powerade, lost that championship final to Bo Bassett of Bishop McCourt, who sits at number 2 at 138.
Yeah, and you mentioned the weight stuff, and Simcox and Perry, teammates from Central Mountain. Again, we just saw Dalton Perry drop his state final match, but these teammates kind of have been swapping weights this year and last. Simcox, though, will be moving on. He heads to school. I believe he's headed to University of Pennsylvania, if I remember correctly. But
switched his commitment to North Carolina.
Oh, that's right, yeah. You know what, now that you mention it, he did have that shirt on, but we go out of bounds, so very close to a escape situation there. Manville able to stay in control.
Manville.
Yeah, interesting to see you mentioned that flip to UNC with Coach Cole being a Pennsylvania guy. You can already see him starting to bring in some of those recruits. Definitely came into a situation in North Carolina that did not have a bear covered, but I'm sure he'll make his mark known as a big-time recruiter.
Pearson Manville heading west, head to Tempe, Arizona State Sun Devils.
Coach Zeke Jones, I believe they're headed to the Big 12 next year as move on from the Pac-10.
Excellent.
We go out of bounds. Looks like Manville is committing himself to this ride. So sometimes, you know, when a guy knows he's probably not going to get back points, might ride him for 10, 20 seconds, not put a lot of effort into it, but Manville wants to try to ride out the period, it looks like. Not going to be able to do it, though. Simcox stays with it, keeps the action going, doesn't stop till he gets his one. So 1 minute passed in the second period. Simcox on the board first. You mentioned last matchup, it did go to ultimate tiebreaker, so that choice, if we get that far, could be big. Little knee tap for Manville. Got Simcox to his hip, but Simcox able to recover, clamps down on the elbow. Probably end up in a stalemate. There's our stalemate call. 29 seconds left to go in the second period. Battle of Central Pennsylvania State College, Central Mountain. Two seniors. Both have already earned one state title, but would like nothing more than to finish it off with a second title against a tough foe. Manville fighting underhook, and Simcox really aggressive with pushing back. Gotta be careful he's not too much in the face. You can hear the coaches from State College with that ref to tell him stop pushing off the face, but we get end of the second period. Simcox 1-0 lead.
District 6-4 finalists, 2 from State College, 2 from Central Mountain. We saw Perry in our last final. These two squaring off here. We'll also see Asher Cunningham in the 160-pound final for State College.
Could have been 3 for State College. A little bit of probably a disappointment. Pavlicek from
Pletko,
sorry. He lost to Bechtold. Kind of just mixed names up. I combined them. I created a new name. But Bechtold was able to get the win.
Patience! Patience!
Manville comes up to all fours and just kind of stayed patient in that position. able to get the escape, tie things up 1-1, 1:30 to go in the third period.
When you're looking at match tactics, I was thinking it's a poor decision to commit to a ride here, especially if the guy gets up to his feet. You want to save those stall calls for your 30-second tie-breaking periods. I mean, obviously, we saw it last week. It went ultimate tiebreaker. Definitely showing the potential here this week to get into those extra periods of wrestling.
And you talk about, when you try to commit to that ride, I mean, obviously you're trying to win 1-0, but seen before, 10 seconds, 15 seconds left, guy gets a reversal, and then it's obviously a whole new situation, finding yourself trailing underneath. And we go out of bounds. Get a restart at 54 seconds.
Just had Jordan Fowles pin world teamer Haley Jaffe over on mat 2.
Yep. I think that was the call to make. Manville moving forward, Simcox moving backwards. So a stall call with 30 seconds to go in the third period. Now I think about it, I don't think I've ever seen Manville hit with a stall call. He only goes one direction. I think right now, just talking advantage on the feet, you got to think Manville. He's put in the work. He's had Simcox buried underneath for a while. That's got to be wearing on Simcox. Back's got to be a little bit on fire. So we'll head to overtime. And the official says, not so fast. We've got some blood coming from Manville's nose. Right on the bridge. Try to get that stopped as we head to our third overtime match up this evening. And we've got all sorts of action going on. Simcox blew a tire, headgear. Coach is looking off to the side, looking up in the stands.
Got assistant Steve Krause up there coming up with the headgear.
We'll see. Oh, we got a throw from the stands. It came up short. Landed in the awards area. Just an update. You're seeing stuff off the screen. We get a nice pan of the awards area. So we got a new headgear coming in. That flew in from section 112. We got another headgear coming in. Going to try out some different styles.
Eddie Hockenberry from Barnagueri to the rescue with one of those sets of headgears.
All right, so both guys get a chance to catch their breath. Simcox, a headgear switch, and we'll get things rolling. So I think that little break probably favored Simcox. I mentioned, Manville had him buried underneath, kind of making him work. So Simcox able to kind of rest and recover as much as he can. And now here's that position again. Manville feeds the head underneath his chest. A lot of weight there, but he's got to try to figure out a way to get points from this position with 40 seconds to go in overtime. Fights underhook. Simcox tried to go fireman's. Both wrestlers doing a good job of staying square. Both guys trying to create action, nothing doing.
Twice in this match, Simcox has showed great recoverability. Whenever he got away for his escape, he hit the mat in an awkward position, was able to get his knees back under, his feet back under, pop his hips back up. Great balance and recovery there by Simcox.
And Manville, not sure if he's getting frustrated, but just kind of end of the period driving in. He looks pretty calm and composed right now. Simcox does have a stall call. And coming into these ride-out situations, those stall calls are critical because sometimes it is far better match strategy to actually take the stall call, but not when you've already been warned. Manville rolls, grabs the head. Simcox, though, double boots, stretched out. We'll see how quick the ref comes in with a stalemate. And if you're Simcox, you want to look real busy on top, and that's not busy enough. I would look much more busy if I was him right now. but it looks like the ref's going to let it go.
It was another situation, the athleticism of Simcox. There was some hip separation by Manville, got away. The recovery in that split second by Simcox played a huge factor in him getting that ride out.
I wouldn't have minded a stalemate there at some point. Double boots in, bottom man can't go anywhere. Top man is just sitting there letting the clock tick down. It's a tough situation to be in, but Simcox takes advantage, and he's going to go underneath trying to get the point. Manville has to ride him out. Now he's got to take him down, so he's got 20 seconds
Stalling.
to score, or a stall.
Warning.
Or a stall. Simcox can't run. He's got 15 seconds, but I'm Simcox. I'm staying right on that line. Drops down to the leg. He's in perfect position to finish it off. There's the takedown, and that's going to ice it. 4-1 winner, Luke Simcox. Central Mountain goes back to back. A 5th place finish as a freshman and a sophomore. State champ as a junior, now as a senior. But hey, hats off to Pearson Manville. Excellent high school career. But it's Luke Simcox. It's his moment. The future Tar Heel wraps up his high school career with a state title. Luke Simcox, your 145-pound AAA state champion.
After the awards, we'll get...
And we are going to move down to the awards stand, where we'll see our award winners from 139 pounds, and we'll be back with 152. Again, I'm Tim Rice, along with Brock Height. Can't wait to wrap it up with our last 6 bouts.
From Burgestown. In 4th place, Matthew Smith from Midwest. In 3rd place, from Reynolds, Chase Bell. Your runner-up, Cameron Mingy from Littlestown. And your champion from Bishop McCourt, Bo Bassett. Winner by tech fall 21-6, time of that tech fall 2:55. Congratulations, Bo Bassett, and all of our AA 139-pound medalists.
Let's meet our girls 130-pound medalists. First ever girls 130-pound medal class. Finishing in 8th place, from Souderton, Kayla Hustiluka. In 7th place from Chestnut Ridge, Patron Plummer. Our 6th place finisher from Woodland Hills, Asia Fowler. Finishing in 5th place from Hamburg, Shannon Govern. Our 4th place finisher was from Sagertown, Casey Mook. Our 3rd place finisher is from Montgomery, Emily Murphy. Our runner-up for 2024 from Moon area, Haley Smarsh. And our first ever girls 130-pound state champion, winning by fall at a time of 2 minutes, 26 seconds, from Easton, Aubrey Kraser. Congratulations to Aubrey, remains undefeated in her career, 60-0, and to all our 130-pound medalists.
And now let's meet the medal winners in AAA at 139 pounds. Finishing 8th from Liberty High School, Cam Abood. Finishing 7th from West Scranton, Michael Turi. Finishing 6th from Bethlehem Catholic, Marco Frenzy. Finishing 5th from Nazareth, Jack Campbell. Finishing 4th from CB West, Patrick Kelly. Finishing 3rd from Hempfield, Seamus Mack. Your state runner-up at 139 pounds from Central Mountain, Dalton Perry. And your PIAA AAA state champion at 139 pounds from Thomas Jefferson by a score of 3-1, Maddox Shaw.
152-pound state finals matchup in AAA. Colin Rath, Bethlehem Catholic. He's a junior in the gold singlet. 44-1 on the year, 106-1 for a career mark. Colin Guy in the blue. He's a junior from Quakertown, 44-3 on the season, 138-10 for his career. And it's Guy on the shot. Steps over, can he get that second leg? Not able to do so. Trips, but that forward trip allows Rath to dive through, grab the ankle, and I don't think Guy's gonna score. We'll see, we got a scramble going, but neither one has an advantage as either one has the leg.
And I think it would have been prudent, Guy, just to shut that down there rather than go, and I felt like Rath with the pass ended up in the better position. Just keep Rath's ankle clear of the mat. Great scramblers, understand when they're behind, and they just shut the scramble down. Good scramblers try to win every single one. You're not going to win every single one.
And I think that was just, if Colin Guy could have had that one back, I think he would. Trying to step through in between the legs like that. He planted his foot, left it there for far too long. I think he was in a really good position to finish. We'll see what he does this time. In on the leg again. I don't think you want to trip, and if you do, you want to back trip to his butt. Don't allow him to dive forward. Trying to capture the far hip, and man, how did Rath find that leg? Nice job by Rath.
Not only do these guys have history on the mat, here at the PIAA, Rath won both matches in 2022, 4-1 in the quarterfinals, 3-1 sudden victory in the third place match. They rest in the Beast in the East finals, a 2-1 tiebreaker decision for Rath. They also train together. So a lot of these scrambles, you kind of start to anticipate what the guy's going to do. But just that sense of Rath when to go for the leg.
And now Rath takes his turn, and oh, that looks nasty on that knee, but you can tell Colin Guy is very flexible. Mentioned they train together, but both guys on a mission for a state title. You know, sometimes the guys with familiarity, you see, sometimes teammates wrestle, different things like that. You get kind of not a lot of action, but that was some great action in the first period. Colin Guy able to get to the leg 2 different times. Rath got to the leg once, but wasn't able to score points. Rath elected to go underneath. Guy did not want to spend time on the mat, so decides to go neutral.
Colin Guy committed to Virginia Tech. We have Colin Rath committed to Missouri. I believe he's the first Pennsylvania commit to Missouri since Troy Dolan back in 07, 08-ish.
Virginia Tech continues to recruit the Keystone State well, pulling in some top guys these past couple years. Down to Blacksburg. Mac Church, I think probably the most recent one. Unfortunately, one of those years, I feel like every once in a while we get the converging of all these big time tournaments on the same weekend. Going to be a busy Sunday and Monday for a lot of people catching up on all this wrestling as the Big 10 championships, Big 12, EIWA, MAC championships, all those things going on for college. Kind of miss out on one of the fun parts of the state tournament, that's seeing all these big-time college coaches here at the event. It typically is a huge recruiting weekend for a lot of big-time programs, but obviously not the case. They've got other things to worry about this weekend, trying to bring home conference championships, punching their tickets to the national tournaments. So don't quite see that presence of Division I coaches here in Hershey, but still a great weekend. Different format this year. Going to take a while for fans probably to get used to. I'm sure there'll be some tweaks to the schedule next year.
136 for girls and
Adding the girls division added a whole lot more matches. Had to be a little creative how they set things up. So
and definitely a positive, the in-house attendance. Whenever you put all 3 divisions together, the semifinals last evening were well attended. Got a solid crowd here tonight for the finals.
And this is the first year AAA guys can really take advantage of the day off, really, you know. So AA guys are used to that. They wrestled their Friday night semi, come back and only wrestle the final. So AAA gets to experience that, and we're looking at 2 state champions from a year ago. So last year they had to win that semifinal in the morning to be able to wrestle, but both these guys coming in completely fresh. All they had to do was make weight. Step on the scale today. Colin Guy, he looked like he had Wrath dead to rights. Wrath able to come around. Guy was underneath both arms, puts him down, but Wrath was able to react so quickly. Was that okay for you? I know you have a very short reaction time, but that was fast.
Yeah, that was good. Wrath able to float his hips over top. Guy goes from a almost guaranteed takedown to giving up one himself in a split second.
There's not too many other high school wrestlers in the country that are going to come out of there with 2 of their own. That was super impressive.
There's almost nobody that's coming out of there without giving up the takedown.
That's what I mean. You're dead to rights. Like, that's not going to happen. Just high-level defense turned into his own offense. Colin Wrath with the impressive takedown. Up 3-2 in the 3rd period.
Stay heavy, move your feet. Move it, nice.
And Wrath staying on the offense. Wrath with just 1 career loss. Absolute stud from Bethlehem Catholic. 3rd place as a freshman. So these guys are so similar. Colin Guy, a 4th place finish as a freshman. Both of them state champions a year ago. Only one will go back to back. Colin Wrath in the driver's seat, but we've seen how quickly things can change. Knee pull single for Colin Guy. Wrath might have to rely on that high-level defense. He's got the far ankle, but Guy in good position, crowds him. Nice job by Colin Wrath. He's not out of the woods yet. Colin Guy in good position. Crowd wants 2, I say no. Wrath again just creating rolls, no control from either wrestler. Colin Guy looked for a second to be in better position. 8 seconds to go. And Wrath just clinging onto that far leg. Great scramble by both wrestlers. No points scored, but the crowd likes what they see.
For Guy to get the boot in, follow the roll through, stay in the crotch. Wrath continues to move, comes out without giving up the takedown. Incredibly high level scrambling there. Hats off to both guys.
Oh, absolutely. We saw a glimpse of it there in the 1st period, but it kept going. Just some high-level wrestling. Colin Guy obviously disappointed, but great match by both wrestlers. But Colin Wrath from Bethlehem Catholic, back-to-back state champion. We wrapped up on the far mat. So we will head to the award stand, and we'll see our medalists at 145 pounds. We'll be back shortly with Ryan Garvik from Central Dolphin looking for his 1st state title after 2 runner-up finishes. He'll be taking on Asher Cunningham from State College in his 1st Pennsylvania state final.
Let's meet our 145-pound medalists in AA. In 8th place from Bishop McCourt, Jackson Butler. In 7th place from the Saucon Valley, Jackson Albert. In 6th place, Mason Horod from Derry. In 5th place from Brookville is Cole Householder. In 4th place is Chase Hauntz from Faith Christian Academy. Your 3rd place finisher out of Bishop McDevitt is Ryan Lawler. Your runner-up from Southern Columbia is Mason Barbitsky. And your champion from Warrior Run High School, Reagan Vilheim, a 3-1 winner. Congratulations, Reagan, and all of our medalists at 145 in AA.
We near 7th place finisher for girls 136 to the podium, please. 7th place finisher for 136 to the podium, please. Results at 136. Medalists at 8th place from Hughesville, Alexis Kurzawa. 7th place finisher from Connellsville, Janaea Nobles. Finishing in 6th place from Fort Cherry, Abigail Dolange. Our 5th place finisher from Schuylkill Valley, Kaylee Widener. Finishing in 4th place from Western Wayne, Sarah Shook. Our 3rd place finisher this year from Kiski area, Ava Golding. Your runner-up for 2024 from Kennett, Haley Jaffe. And your first ever girls 136-pound champion from Bishop McCourt, winning by fall in a time of 5 minutes, 27 seconds, Jordan Fowles. Congratulations to Jordan and all our 136-pound medalists.
The medal winners at 145 pounds, finishing 8th from Penn Trafford, Hayden Coy. Finishing 7th, Central Dauphin, Gavin Reynolds. Finishing 5th from Quakertown, Gavin Carroll. Finishing 4th from Bethlehem Catholic, Shane McFillin. Finishing 3rd from Connellsville, Evan Petrovich. Your runner-up from State College at 145 pounds, Pearson Manville. And your PIAA state champion at 145 pounds in AAA by a 4-1 decision from Central Mountain, Luke Simcox.
Now wrestling on mat 2, girls championship 148 pounds. She's a junior from District 3.
160-pound AAA final, Ryan Garvik from Central Dauphin, the local high school in the Hershey area. He is a senior taking on Asher Cunningham, who is on the leg. Asher Cunningham, a junior from State College. Cunningham 36-1 on the year, 99-17. Ryan Garvik looked like he was very close to a takedown, but Cunningham able to fight into a wizard position, and we kick out. So some good action here in the first 30 seconds of the match. Ryan Garvik, 49-4 on the season, 162 wins in his career, just 18 losses. As I mentioned, Asher Cunningham sitting on 99 wins, and what a way to get his 100th if he could do it. Junior year in the state finals for his first state title. Almost had it. Nice job by Garvik hitting that whizzer. Now Garvik ducks the leg. Lots of time, but maybe not enough space as we're near the edge. And Cunningham very comfortable in the scrambles. Has the far ankle, gonna be hard. Now he loses that ankle. Looks like Garvik just wants to concede the position.
And in the head lift position, he's got the back hook in there. Now he's going to change off legs that he's attacking.
So 20 seconds.
Cunningham so good here with the double ankle. Last night he hit a impossible to stop roll to beat Gunnar Myers. And with the far ankle, I agree with the official, no control there.
Ran out of space. We have college out of bounds rules. We got a different situation, but control not established while they're in bounds. Central Dauphin not real happy with it, obviously. So we'll stay scoreless. Short time in the period, and a good exchange by both guys. And Garvik did a nice job. Cunningham was still on that ankle, far ankle, but he was able to slip the other leg in and almost came around with the takedown. Garvik has choice, goes underneath.
Garvik, number 10 in the country coming in the weekend. He's committed to Indiana. What a haul for Indiana with this class. They come in, they get Nick Pavlechko out of State College, Ryan Garvik, and we'll also see Caleb Marzolino in tonight's final at 215 pounds, also committed to Indiana. Asher Cunningham, number 14 in the country. These guys are actually ranked at 2 different weights. Garvik up at 65. We're going to get a near fall kill.
Not 45, the referee says. Ash Cunningham steps over. He's got a real deep, tight waist. That loosens up a little bit as Garvik able to get down and defend himself.
So it's Cunningham being ranked at 157. Garvik ranked up at 165. Here our Pennsylvania weight class 160 splits the middle of that. Garvik number 10 at 165, Cunningham 14 at 57.
Cunningham very proficient on top, long arms, and he's really put some muscle on this year. Big difference physically, the way he looks from a year ago, up at 160 pounds. Cunningham, an 8th place finisher as a freshman, 4th last year as a sophomore. Garvik, 3-time finalist, qualified as a freshman, and has come up 1 match short the previous 2 years. Would love to finish it off here at the Giant Center for Central Dauphin. It's been a while since they've had a state champion at Central Dauphin, but man, have they had a history. As Garvik trying to step over, 20 seconds to go in the period. Cunningham in the crotch. We'll see if he can come up. I don't think that's control. It's not. So Cunningham able to maintain control. That's not a reverse of control for Garvik, as Cunningham able to stay in control barely, but he'll ride out the entire period to keep the score at 0.
You mentioned the last title for Central Dauphin, Garrett Peppelman, back in 2014. They have 10 titles among 6 different wrestlers. Really a program that came on the early 2000s.
Some of those state titles were probably brothers, I imagine. Peppelman, is that correct? Or
yeah, you had Walter winning 1, Marshall winning 3. I believe Garrett got 2.
That was when the cross wrist tilt was first coming on the scene. Central Dauphin very well known for that. Still in control for Garvik. Not going to give anything yet. Almost close to a Peterson situation. And now we're close to that Peterson situation as Garvik still hanging on. Garvik in control.
This is your spot for Cunningham. He's really good here. He ended up pinning Gunnar Myers out of it.
Looked like a back bridge to me, but we'll stop for potentially dangerous as Cunningham will get reset underneath.
You know, Penn State's so proficient there. You lock in the crotch, you split it. Impossible to stop roll. Some people like to call it Sanderson Steel, as Ben Askren famously named it. Incorrectly famously named it.
Cunningham would probably be fine with just a regular old stand-up at this position as he finds himself tangled up underneath. Now he's going to go to work on those legs. Catches the foot of Garvik. See if he's just going to try to get out of the pocket, and he does get out of the pocket, gets the reversal. And Garvik, that is not what you want to see if you're a Central Dauphin fan or coach. Spent 2 minutes underneath in the second period, and he's back down underneath, trailing by 2. Garvik completely bellied out. Cunningham, tight waist. Looks like he's got those long arms. He's on that far kidney. And man, that's when that tight waist gets tight. And if you're Cunningham, I don't think you want to really work that tilt too hard. You want to have Garvik kick out and all of a sudden lose it for a reversal. We got under 15 seconds to go. Asher Cunningham from State College. Pearson Manville wrestled earlier, unable to get it done in the finals, but it looks like Cunningham is going to do it, and he does. Doesn't crack a smile, though. Asher Cunningham takes care of business. Your 160-pound AAA state champion. Got to give it to Ryan Garvik just a little bit here. That's got to be a heartbreaker for him.
Yeah, we saw
Finish
Chase
his
Shields
career with 3 state runner-up.
Chase Shields for Bishop McDevitt pulled that off just a few years ago. We see Garvik, 3 finals appearances, came up short in all 3. What a career. Just doesn't get the top prize.
So congratulations, Asher Cunningham gets the job done, takes home the Pennsylvania state title, and we are wrapping up the girls match on the middle mat. That's Zoe Haynes from Gettysburg, your state champion at 148 pounds for the girls division. So we'll head on down to the award stand, check out the medals at 152 pounds, and we'll be back with Bodie Morgan from Trinity area taking on Vaughn Spencer from Pine Richland. We'll see you in a few minutes.
Runner-up from AAA, runner-up from AAA, please report to the medal area. AA medalist. Ty Watson out of Penns Valley is your 8th place medalist. In 7th place, Penn Cambria's Trent Hoover. In 6th place, from Warrior Run, Cameron Milheim. In 5th place, from Grove City, Cody Hamilton. In 4th place, from Montoursville, Paige Wenzel. In 3rd place, from Clearfield, Brady Collins. Your runner-up from Faith Christian is Max Stein. And your champion for 2024 from Bishop McCourt, Melvin Miller, a 2-1 winner this evening. Congratulations, Melvin Miller, and all of your medalists at 152.
Let's meet our first ever girls 142-pound medal stand. Our 8th place finisher from East Pennsboro, Veronica White. Finishing in 7th place from Upper Dublin, Riley Netter. Our 6th place finisher is from Peters Township, Grace O'Corn. Finishing in 5th place from Norwin, Josephine Dahlman. Our 4th place finisher from Greater Johnstown, Sayana Harris-Hay. Finishing in 3rd place from Garnet Valley, Jessica Ayala. Our runner-up for 2024 from Downingtown West, Sienna Landrum. And the first ever girls state champion at 142 pounds, winning by fall in a time of 3 minutes, 37 seconds, from Chestnut Ridge, Violet Leisure. Congratulations to Violet and all our 142-pound medalists.
And now let's meet the medal winners in AAA at 152 pounds. Finishing 8th from Harrington, Nadav Nafshi. Finishing 7th from Pocono Mountain East, Keegan Demarest. Finishing 6th from Central Mountain, Griffin Wollizer. Finishing 5th from Penn Ridge, Sam Coons. Finishing 4th from Altoona, Luke Sipes. Finishing 3rd from Hempfield area, Eli Carr. Your state runner-up at 152 pounds from Quakertown, Colin Guy. And your PIAA state champion at 152 pounds by decision 3-2, a two-time state champion from Bethlehem Catholic, Colin Rath.
£172 AAA state final, Bodie Morgan, Trinity area. He is 30-4 on the season. He's in the blue singlet, 94-33 career mark. Vaughn Spencer from Pine Richland, 42-2, 70-4 career record, but it's Morgan, has both legs, tilting him up, and there we go, the 2-point takedown. A lot of times as an official, they're looking for them to step over and hook that foot, but when you're tipping them up and holding them there that long, you're showing control, and that's what the referee recognized. And it's a 2-point takedown, opening takedown for Bodie Morgan, the senior from Trinity area.
Vaughn Spencer won the only matchup between these two back in January at the Fred Bell Tournament semifinals, an 8-2 decision for Spencer. Both these guys have missed large portions of seasons throughout their high school career with injury. So Spencer missed his entire freshman season.
Yeah, Spencer, a qualifier a year ago, and this is Bodie Morgan's first trip to the Giant Center as a senior. Both of these guys coming out of District 7. Yeah, not a lot of past accomplishments here at 172 pounds. But one of these guys will be walking out as a PIAA state champion. Spencer doing a good job of keeping that ankle elevated in the air. We have a stalemate, 32 seconds to go in the first period.
Spencer. The referees are James Bourne from District 10 and Brian Beckley from District 3.
A couple state champions coming up. Next couple weight classes, 189 pounds. I'll have a matchup with Tucker Hogan and Cole Bartram. Hogan, champion, Bartram, a runner-up. That'll be a rematch of last year's final where Hogan obviously prevailed because he's the returning state champion. See Sean Kinney, two-time champ from Nazareth. Four-time finalist from Nazareth up at heavyweight. Two Bechtolds from Owen J. Roberts, capping things off. Dylan Bechtold, the senior. Dean Bechtold, the sophomore. So some great matchups coming up as we wrap things up here in AAA. 3 more matches after this one, but Morgan 2-1 lead as we start the second period.
And Morgan away for the escape. Big win the semifinal over Hunter Snyder, a freshman out of Greater Latrobe. He knocked Morgan off in the Southwest Regional Championships. So it's kind of awkward that we only had the one matchup between Spencer and Morgan, both coming out of District 7. That was because of the win a week ago by Snyder, avenged by Morgan. Morgan had defeated him earlier in the season. So now he holds a 2-1 edge in that series. Now that'll be it, as Morgan's going to be headed off to Davidson next season. Vaughn Spencer committed to Lehigh.
Morgan gets extended on a shot. Spencer able to clear the hand off the leg and spin around behind it. Looks like Spencer was gripping up that headgear. From my view over here, look like he had those fingers curled around it, but I could be wrong.
He'll tell you there's a lot of hair sticking out of that headgear you can't see very well.
I was just going to comment. Morgan does have a nice head of hair on there, so. It doesn't work in your advantage, though, when the guy's digging those fingers in underneath your headgear. I don't want to, that's allegedly. I don't want to, I apologize to the Spencer family if I incorrectly identified that situation. But Spencer on top, 39 seconds to go in the second period. We have a tie score. Big point for Morgan if he can get it to end the second period. He's got 35 to try to get out. Spencer tries to throw to Buhner on the right side, forces it in. Now he's in good position to try to finish out the period on top.
Vaughn Spencer, just the third finalist from Pine Richland. Scott Heim won a title back in 1982. Jeremy Langle was a runner-up in 95. He had the Spladle herd round Pennsylvania as he pinned Jason Betts as he was going for his fourth state title there in 95. Trinity, on the other hand, they've had 28 titles won by 23 wrestlers, but a lot of those through the 60s and 70s. Traditionally strong program at Trinity. They have not picked up a title since 2005 with Dan Burkholder.
So Morgan got the first takedown, but Spencer has the most recent. Both guys with an escape point. So we're 3-3 into the third. Spencer underneath.
But it's Spencer responded with the escape from his takedown. Morgan did not.
Morgan again, kind of just a little bit of a half shot, but you want to be careful. That's how he gave up that last takedown. If you're going to go for it, you got to commit to it if you're Morgan. Pine Richland coaching staff just really encouraging Spencer to keep that space going, pace going, I should say, and limit the space because they can see Morgan kind of pace slowing down. Spencer has been pushing forward and it's kind of, you know, I mentioned Morgan kind of those half committed shots, but I think the pace of Spencer was kind of forcing those positions. So 2 go behind takedowns for Spencer. Showed the ability to ride in the second. We'll see if you can close it out on top here in the third. Figure 4 on the leg. A lot of pressure. This is right where you want to be if you're Spencer. And if you're Vaughn Spencer, you want to do a little bit of acting here on top, make it look working hard, but he lets go of the figure 4 on the leg. And I don't know why I'd keep that if I was him, but driving in, he goes to a Blair ride, which is another great way to burn some time.
I was going to say, Morgan almost came out earlier in the period as he turned into it. Spencer able to break him flat. Morgan looking for a tying takedown.
I was going to say, we're neutral. But, man, Spencer comes out on top. So, Spencer, 3 takedowns, all from Morgan's attempts. He's going to ice it 8-4. Vaughn Spencer from Pine Richland, the junior. State qualifier a year ago, state champion 2024. We'll go ahead and head down to the award stands. But don't go anywhere. We got a rematch of last year's state final, Tucker Hogan, Cole Bartram. We'll see you in a few minutes.
In 8th place from Canton, Hudson Ward.
Let's go.
In 7th place from Notre Dame Green Pond, Dominic Sumpolik. In 6th place from Hopewell, Isaiah Fasano. In 5th place from Girard, Story Buchanan. In 4th place, Tyler Morrison from West Perry. In 3rd place, Devin Magro from Bishop McCourt. Your runner-up, Cal Wiedemoyer from Faith Christian. And your state champion from Montgomery, a 3-time state champion, Connor Harrer, winner by a 4-3 score. Congratulations, Connor, and all of our medalists at 160 pounds in AA.
Now let's meet our first ever girls 148-pound medalists. Finishing in 8th place from Pine Grove, Eve Kurtz. Our 7th place finisher from Liberty, Samara Dre. Finishing in 6th place from Lake Lehman, Alana Morris. Our 5th place finisher from Northwestern Lehigh, Katie Brensinger. Finishing in 4th place from Sun Valley, Jamison Strickland. Our 3rd place finisher from Williamsport, Marissa Rumsey. Our 2024 runner-up from Central Dauphin, Charlotte Guilfoyle. And our first ever girls 148-pound state champion, winning by a decision of 7-2, from Gettysburg, Zoe Hayes. Congratulations to Zoe and all our 148-pound medalists.
Well, let's meet the medal winners at 160 pounds in AAA. Finishing 8th from Council Rock South, Gavin Cole. Finishing 7th from Central York, Carter Davis. Finishing 6th from Walham Hallback, Gunnar Myers. Finishing 5th from Connellsville, Alonzi Velma. Finishing 4th from Pottsville, Nick Kunstek. Finishing 3rd from Thomas Jefferson, Bode Marlowe. Your state runner-up at 160 pounds from Central Dauphin, Ryan Garvik. And winning his 100th career victory with a score of 2-0, your PIAA AAA state champion at 160 pounds from State College, Asher
Finals in the AAA division. Tucker Hogan, the senior from Daniel Boone, undefeated on the year at 48-0, 154-5 in his career, taking on Cole Bartram. Bartram, a senior from Northern York, 36-1 on the year, 121-20 in his career.
Both these guys committed to Lock Haven. Tucker Hogan ranked number 3 in the country. Daniel Boone's only state champion.
Junior from District 1's Beth Salem, head coach Jonathan Williams.
Tucker Hogan, tough from all positions, but really proficient from top. Loves the tilt, guys. You see that long frame.
This is the 4th bout in this series, all won by Hogan. 5-3 decision in the South Central Regional Championship a year ago, 4-0 in the state final, 9-2 in this year's regional final.
And that is Bartram's only loss on the season. As mentioned, both seniors headed to Lock Haven. Battle it out in the room for the next few years. Sure, one will head up to 197, while one will head down to 184.
Out of District 6, he's a senior, coached by John Macon. Record 46-3.
Be interesting to know what Tucker Hogan weighs in at. Obviously very lean, but a big frame.
And wrestling in the AAA championship.
Interesting to see what the plans are for him. From Coach Moore up at Lock Haven.
He's coached by Jim Hogan from District 3. Tucker.
But it's never a bad thing to have two-time finalists in your room.
3rd place in 2022 and a 21 qualifier. His opponent is a senior from Northern York. 36-1, 121-20.
Just saw wrestling coach share a water bottle, which usually would be pretty gross, but father and son duo from Daniel Boone.
Out of District 3, Cole Bartram.
Tucker Hogan. See, he does like to go with the large gallon jug of water.
Christopher Shell, and assisted by Mark
And I think the snap actually came off like it wasn't
That's the most annoying headgear situation with those type of headgears. As a coach, you're under pressure. You're trying to thread that thing through. And as a father of wrestlers, incredibly annoying to adjust those headgear. The referee's going to help him out here. Get that baby snapped up, and let's get back to action. 42 seconds to go in the first period. Hogan picks up the pace, some fakes. Ooh, do not like that takedown. He's going to give it to him, though. So off to the side, did have the hand around the hip, but very much so off to the side. Hogan real quick off the whistle. Not exactly a surprise attack when they blow the whistle, but man, he came out, charged at him, threw that underhook up, got to the leg, was able to establish enough control for the referee to award the takedown, and now we'll see him in that top position that he can just be deadly from. Looks like he has the cross wrist. We'll see if he can do anything with it. He's got 16 seconds. See if he wants to do anything with it here with this time. 5 seconds to go, and it looks like he's going to hold off on that top tilt, wait for a little bit more time in the next couple periods. Bartram elects to go underneath Hogan, which I guess you got to do what you got to do to win, but most guys aren't picking bottom. And he's going to make himself look smart and me look stupid. So Cole Bartram with the reversal. I wonder how many reversals Tucker Hogan's given up in his lifetime.
Yeah, it's when you got a guy that's really proficient in top, you really hate to put yourself under there, but this is their fourth matchup. He kind of knows what positions he can and cannot get into. And he just kind of felt like he needed those points off of bottom in order to stay in this match.
Interesting from Hogan there, almost diving through. He's got to be careful because he is on the bottom position, so doesn't want to give up a quick set at 2 or anything. We've got plenty of time here in the second period, but an awfully weird scramble. We'll see if Hogan can come out. There he does. So he's got it. Now he goes right to a side headlock. So Bartram with the reversal, Hogan with the reversal of the reversal, and he is on top, anchored in with his back leg, creating all kinds of problems for Bartram underneath.
Hogan, your only state champion for Daniel Boone. Northern York has had 4 titles won by 4 wrestlers, last won by Kyle Swartz in 2019.
Dean Hauser from Daniel Boone tried to make it another state champion from that high school, but fell to Trey Wagner. That was at 127 pounds. So it's up to Tucker Hogan to bring home a state title for Daniel Boone. And Hogan, going to say he's going to ride out the period, but we have, of course, 1 second on the clock. Nope, we're going to switch it to 3 seconds. 3 seconds as Bartram gets underneath. And although Hogan did not ride him out for the entire period, he basically did. As we spent that time on the mat, Bartram was able to gain control for a short time, but Hogan able to get it back from him. Hogan goes underneath.
Talking to Coach Jim Hogan before this, I was asking about both guys that they in the finals. Hauser had a history with Wagner, and here a long history between Bartram and Tucker Hogan. Bartram, the only guy to score offensive points against Tucker Hogan in the last 2 Scholastic seasons.
Mentioned Jim Hogan coaching Daniel Boone. Kyle Kozer, head coach at Northern York. Hogan with a 5-2 lead controls the wrist of Bartram. Bartram backs out, clears out, makes space. He's got to try to do what he hasn't been able to so far, and that's get to the leg of Hogan. And he's able to get to the leg, locks on the leg, but that's only half the battle with a wrestler like Hogan. Those long arms, able to easily lock in the crotch. Thought Bartram grabbed that knee pad a little bit there, but able to scramble through. Hogan gets a really quick sneak peek underneath the arm, checks out the clock. 45 seconds to go. Time winding down here at 189 pounds. AAA, as we did just crown a AA state champ.
Andrew McMonigal picking up the 1-point decision on the AA side over Garrett Garcia of Southern Columbia.
It's fun here having some finals going on at the same time. We got AA fans, AAA fans, all in the arena at the Giant Center for the first time. (5-2) lead for Hogan, no stall calls. Definitely an excellent position here with under 10 seconds to go. So we will have the Bechtold brothers coming up soon, but right now it's Tucker Hogan's moment from Daniel Boone. Tucker Hogan, the Pennsylvania state champion at 189 pounds. As I mentioned, we have 215, 285 coming up soon. Dylan Bechtold, the senior from O&J Roberts, taking on Caleb Marzoloni from Abington Heights. Hang around for that. Again, I'm Tim Rice along with Brock Kite. We'll see you in a few minutes to wrap things up with our final two bouts and the AAA side.
Carmen Lindsay from Berks Catholic in 6th place. Braden Welsh from Fort Cherry in 5th place. In 4th place from Grove City is Hunter Horman. In 3rd place from Notre Dame Green Pond, Keegan Ramsey. Your runner-up from Northwest Lehigh, Luke Pagazzuto. And your champion from Faith Christian Academy, Adam Waters, winner by fall in 141. Congratulations, Adam Waters, and all of our medalists at 172 in AA.
Now let's meet our first ever class of 155-pound medalists. From West Perry, Marty Morrison, finishing in 8th place. Our 7th place finisher from Avon Grove, Caitlin Arnold. Our 6th place finisher from Cannon McMillan, Dynasty Williams. Finishing in 5th place from Gettysburg, Kylie Monroe. Our 4th place finisher is from Northampton, Mylea Lambert. Our 3rd place finisher from Northern Bedford is Reagan Snyder. Our first ever runner-up at 155 is from North Allegheny, Lena Rumpler. And your first ever girls state champion at 155 pounds, winning by a decision score of 1-0, from Hickory, Avery Ryle. Congratulations, Avery, and all our medal winners at 155.
And now let's meet the medal winners in AAA at 172 pounds. Finishing 8th from Council Rock, Self. Becruz, Sadridendroff. Finishing 7th from Penn Ridge, Talon Hogan. Finishing 6th from Greater Latrobe, Hunter Snyder. Finishing 5th from Abington Heights, Brian Hurd. Finishing 4th from Shikellamy, Connor Wetzel. Finishing 3rd from O&J Roberts, Sam Gautreau. Your runner-up at 172 pounds from Trinity, Bode Morgan. And winner by an 8-4 decision, your PIAA AAA state champion at 172 pounds from Pine Ridgeland, Vaughn Spencer.
215-pound AAA state final. Dylan Bechtold from O&J Roberts. He's a senior in the gray and white singlet. Season record 41-0, undefeated on the year, 128-12 for a career mark. Taking on Caleb Marzolino from Abington Heights. He's also a senior, 37-2 on the season, 128-15 career mark. Bechtold, a runner-up a year ago, finished 5th as a sophomore. Comes up with a big body lock, takes him straight to the back. No back points yet, not in that criteria. So, big upper body move by Bechtold, puts him to his back, but nice job by Marzolino to be able to get out of that situation with only giving up the takedown.
Bechtold ranked number 15 in the country. He's headed to Bucknell a year ago.
He's
a year from now.
Time and going to head to coach with Coach Wernsberger there at Bucknell.
Where I was headed is a year ago. Marzolino was 8th place at this tournament. Senior headed to Indiana. Mentioned that class earlier.
Bechtold has the arm on the back. And nice job. Marzolino able to again get himself out of a very dangerous situation.
And Marzolino in the championship semifinal, flying cement job. So he's got home run hitting capabilities. Bechtold en route to this championship final. Following 119 over Troy Mack at Downingtown West. 10-3 over Brandon Steeler of Pocono Mountain West at a 9-1 major decision over Aiden Height of Chambersburg. Marzolino, 4-1 decision over Giuliano Marion of Franklin Regional. 5-1 over Ryan McMillan of Wilson in the quarterfinal. And the aforementioned flying cement job, pinning Jake Conroy of Ringgold in the semifinal for Marzolino.
Bechtold been very offensive so far this match. Looking to score points from neutral and also in that top position. Just aggressively going after it. And Marzolino so far has just done a good job to honestly keep this match close.
Both these schools have 2 state championships to their credit. Dan Mancini, the last to do it for O&J Roberts. Evan Craig is the only titleist for Abington Heights, but he won back-to-back titles in 2009 and 2010 at 285 pounds.
O&J Roberts, just a strong program year to year. Common for them to have medalists coming out of District 1 down near the Philadelphia area. And by area, I mean within like 45 minutes of Philadelphia. Got a good program going there, though. Stephen DeRuffello, the coach there. Take a sneak peek down there on the far end. We got a AA 215-pound final that some people might be interested in, and that's Rune Lawrence from Fraser taking on Austin Johnson from Muncie. Lawrence with the 3-0 lead. Just had a flashback to when Thane Lawrence wrestled, and I would always say Frazier instead of Lawrence. Never could quite figure that out, but it doesn't matter because Rune's going to be done anyways. Down on our mat, we have a 3-0 lead. It seems like more as Bechtold's been in control of most of these situations. Up 3-0. Oh, and they call the uncontrolled fall. Don't love to see that in the final, but put him on his back, had the fall, and he's going to get in the pick up the win. So Dylan Bechtel in control throughout the match, and ironically picks up the non-controlled fall. But either way, he's your state champion, Dylan Bechtel from Owen J. Roberts. Stick around. We will see younger brother Dean Bechtel take on Sean Kinney from Nazareth in the 285-pound final. But if I were you, I would probably click on down to mat number 1, and I will let you guys head there, where Ruin Lawrence is up 3-0 over Austin Johnson as they get ready to start the third period with Johnson down. So after this match finishes up down on mat 1, we will head to the award stands for 189, and we'll be back to finish up heavyweight. Again, I'm Tim Rice along with Brock Height. Got one more match to finish things off. We'll see you in a few.
Meet our medalists in 189. Double A, in 8th place from Faith Christian, Cody Wagner. In 7th place from Bentworth, Vitaly Daniels. In 6th place from Clearfield, Carter Chamberlain. In 5th place from Fraser, Jackson Angelo. In 4th place from Bishop McDevitt, Lucas Lawler. In 3rd place from Baltimore area, Caleb Close. Your runner-up from Southern Columbia is Garrett Garcia. And your champion from Huntington, Andrew McMonigal, an 8-7 winner. Congratulations, Andrew, and all the medalists at 189.
Now it's time to meet the first ever girls 170-pound class of medalists. Finishing in 8th place from Central Mountain, Kendall Wagner. Our 7th place finisher from Liberty, Gracie Halfledge. 6th place from York Suburban, Angela Imorhor. Our 5th place finisher from Northern, Amber Berletich. Our fourth place finisher from Greater Nanticoke, Sierra Ripka. Finishing in third place this year from Cannon McMillan, Audrey Calgaro. Your 2024 runner-up from Ben Salem, Maya Krieger. And your first ever girls 170-pound champion, winning by fall in a time of 3 minutes, 2 seconds, from Punxsutawney, J.L. Miller. Congratulations to JL and all our 170-pound medalists.
And now let's meet our medal winners at AAA at 189 pounds. Finishing 8th from Strathaven, Michael Spielman. Finishing 7th from Bethlehem Catholic, James DeLuise. Finishing 6th from Kiski area, Cooper Roskoski. Finishing 5th from Norwin, Nathan Campbell. Finishing 4th from Freedom, Jared Carabinas. Finishing 3rd from Sealands Grove, Tucker Teets. Your state runner-up at 189 pounds from Northern York, Cole Bartram. And winning with a score, 5-2, your PIAA AAA state champion at 189 pounds. He's a two-time state champion from Daniel Boone, Tucker Hogan.
And we are ready to cap things off and end our night with 285 pounds AAA state finals. Sean Kinney from Nazareth in the black and blue, taking on Dean Bechtold from O&J Roberts. The sophomore taking on the senior. Kinney looking to cap off his excellent high school career with another state title. Kinney 38-1 on the season, 124-5. All up at the heavyweight division, only 5 losses, just an incredible career record. Bechtold 41-3 on the season, 82-14 for the sophomore. And the sophomore has a headlock, had Kinney in a little bit of trouble. I think he had that leverage, but that just shows the athleticism of Kinney.
Kinney ranked number 7 in the country. He's headed to Lafayette to play football next year.
Kinney came on the scene in a big way his freshman year, second place finish, champion as a sophomore and a junior. And from his freshman year, just very active heavyweight, can scramble well, just a really good athlete, as you mentioned, college, going to be a college football player.
Kinney, your first PIAA wrestler to wrestle in 4 finals at the same weight class.
I have a feeling that's something that's not going to happen again with 285 pounds. Very few freshmen can come in and medal there. And Kinney, and this is where he is so good on top, has that bar, ran him over and very close to a fall. Again, in high school, you got to have him down there for 2 seconds to be able to get the fall. But Kinney is going to pick up 3 back points. Once he can loosen that tight waist a little bit, he'll get to 3, and he's going to run that bar right back again. Definitely has a size advantage. See the O&J Roberts coach. Tough to tell your wrestler what to do when you got a guy like Sean Kinney, a 4-time finalist, 2-time state champ, on top of your wrestler. So that is an 8-0 lead for Kinney. And really opens things up here in the first period. See what he wants to do. Looks like a defer. And Bechtold says, I would like the opposite to happen, so decides to go on top here in the second period. It's been a fun night of finals. It's been a great calling again with Brock Height. I'm Tim Rice. Another fun year. Don't know how many years in a row it's been, 4 or 5, but another good year calling the finals. We got AA girls wrestling in the middle for their first state titles. AAA here on the outside. New schedule, new athletes, but same great wrestling here in the state of Pennsylvania. Kinney gets the escape, goes up 9-0.
Talking about Kinney in those 4 final appearances. What an epic final his freshman year. He got pinned by Nate Schoen in sudden victory, but he would have been the first freshman to win at 285. As I say that, he's picking up the takedown on the boundary line.
So that's that goofy high school stuff. Once your feet are, I remember correctly, feet are in. If the knees are up in the air, it's okay, but it needs to be inside the cylinder. Came outside the cylinder. I don't think Nazareth really cares too much at this point.
Dave Kroll was getting that explanation from the assistant as you were going through it. He was pointing to his knee, saying they've got to be within the cylinder for the near fall to happen. But he was a good scramble in sudden victory away from becoming the first freshman champion at 285 pounds.
Kind of a goofy position. I don't know why. So he stops it there. Kinney looked like to be in a good position to hip heist down and split those legs, but stopped it for potentially dangerous. 11-0 in favor of Kinney. Ranked number 7 in the country. Mentioned Kenny, just 5 losses in his career, all up at 285. Just 1 loss on this season as a senior. Coming out of District 11. Dean Bechtel working hard, trying to score points. But Kinney, so proficient on top. He's probably going to get 3, I think, here, and he will. So that's holding 3. It's going to be 14-0 for Sean Kinney heading into the 3rd period. It's going to be his choice. He wants to go underneath and just end this thing. So escape or reversal will end this match immediately, unless he reverses Bechtel to his back. This is a non-traditional starting position that is allowed. You saw that position. So Bechtel was on the waist and elbow, even though he was kind of in a weird position. So legal start, weird start, doesn't matter. Sean Kinney caps off his historic high school career. 4 medals, 4 finals, 3 state championships for Sean Kinney from Nazareth.
That's going to lock in Nazareth into the runner-up position. They were sitting there anyway. Owen J. Roberts. Actually, they couldn't have caught him even with bonus points. Bethlehem Catholic, your champion with 95.5. Nazareth with 73. State College, 71.5. Quakertown and Owen J. Roberts round out your top 5.
So what a great day of wrestling. We still have wrestling action going on down on mats 1 and 2. Down on mat number 1, we have the heavyweights for AA. Looks like Brennan Morgan is going to take the championship there. And then we have the girls still wrestling in the center mat. But let's go back through the finals round matchup where we have some time before we go to the medal winners. At 107 pounds, we had more